It's time for another Dice Tower review with Zee Garcia.
Hey everybody, today I'm taking a look at a silly party game called Yogi here. And in this one, you are quite simply going to be drawing cards and then doing what they say you do, making you get into strange positions, hold yourself in bizarre sort of ways, have cards that you need to hang on to while continuing to draw other cards, reading those, doing what they do until you mess up and you drop out, and the last one standing is the winner. Actually, I just told you how the game works. I guess we don't really need an overview for this one. I'll give you an overview anyway. So here's what you get in the game. It comes in a tin, as you can see. It has the rule book in here, and then you are going to get two little card trays that are actually removable from inside the tin. You'll shuffle these up, you'll put them on the table, and you are ready to begin. Each player on their turn is quite simply going to draw a card, and they are going to do what the card says. You can pick whichever deck you want to, and the cards are nice and plastic, and they are really very well done, very well printed. So, let's say I draw this card here, and it says right elbow touching torso, all right? And at the top, it tells me a little symbol whether this card is involved in the actual manipulation, the thing I have to do, or not. In this case, it is not. So I have to make sure that my right elbow is touching my torso for the rest of the game, and as soon as I break any one of these rules in front of me, I'm out of the game. And you keep going until only one person is left standing. And so we have another one here. This one involves the card. It says that this card, the rule is this card touching your neck. And so I've already got the right elbow touching my torso, which means I have to have the card touching my neck. I might need to use my left hand for this, but I need to follow all of these rules all the time, including when I'm drawing the cards, when I'm reading them, and when I'm putting the card or wherever it goes, or I'm doing whatever the new thing is. So I've already got my right elbow touching my torso. I've now got this card up against my neck, and I'm doing that with my left hand, let's say. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it on my neck. You can't see me, but I'm doing it, I promise. And then I got this doing this, so now I need to lean in here, and I got to read this one. It says one finger touching my chin. Well, that's not bad. I can do that with my left hand as well. And then I'll grab another one, and it says left hand face down. Well, it's a little bit tricky. I got to make sure it's face down while holding a card touching my neck and while a finger's touching my chin. And then I draw another one that says one finger touching my armpit. Oh boy. Well, I'm going to have to do that with this hand. So that finger would touch an armpit, and then that means I need to lean over the table somehow and grab this card here and flip it and see what it says. And eventually someone catches me breaking one of the rules and they go, gotcha! And that's the game. And that's basically it. It's a superbly silly game. Very easy. Lots of laughs if you get into this sort of silly behavior. And on top of that, the cards are very well made, so you're not going to have a problem with these getting bent, getting mocked up, getting dirty or anything like that. So it's very nice from that point of view. And that's pretty much it. Not a whole lot else you need to understand about this one besides some of these powers, and I'll show you a couple more of them, but they're pretty straightforward stuff. Right hand above left hand. This card between chin and chest. Right hand above elbow. This card on right shoulder. This card covering one eye. Left index pointing up. This card on middle finger, etc., etc. Hey, look, it's E.T. There you go. Let's go back up top. Let me tell you what I think of this one. All right, so there it is. Obviously, this is an acquired taste kind of game, right? I mean, this is not a game for every situation, but does it for that situation it is right for? Is it a good one? Let's break this down here a little bit. Let's talk about thematic ties. The theme here is could have been themeless, right? I mean, the game has that possibility, but the fact that they went the extra mile, it has a theme, it's got very cool look to it. I appreciate it. It's not something that I'm going to bring it off the shelf because I get to, be in this yoga sort of world, but it helps to sell it when it's just sitting on the table and you haven't cracked that open yet and told people what it is they're doing. So I like that. The aesthetics and that's the quality of the components and the look of everything. really nice, very good, except for the tin. I'm not a huge fan of tins normally. This one already has a nice big dent on the back there, so but everything else, I like the artwork in it. It's very, very bright, very silly, cartoony. I like it. And especially the card quality. When I first cracked this open and I realized the cards were plastic, I was so happy because I didn't have to worry about them being bent, about them getting, pinched somewhere and getting grimy, about them taking damage, basically. They are very high quality cards. So on that front, good job. Replayability here and scalability. Scalability, the game says 3 to 10 players, right? You can play with as many people as you want to. It doesn't really matter. I would say somewhere in between those two numbers is maybe a little easier to keep track of what's actually going on, but it doesn't really matter. As far as replayability goes, though, that is so very much up to you and your group. I don't think it's that high, the replayability. There's not that many different cards. There's a good amount of stuff going on, but it is not endless, So for me, I've played this now, I want to say 5-6 times, and I enjoyed it. And that's several games in a session usually is what you end up doing. But I don't know if I would necessarily bring this out all the time. It's got a very, very specific time and place. And even in that time and place with the right people, eventually you're ready to move on. The game length is great. It's quick, it's short, it's silly, right? So that's not a problem. Ease of play, which is fiddliness. I feel like fiddliness is like a positive this time, right? If there's any weird design choices, anything like that, no, I don't think so. Everything works fine. It's very clean and easy to play. And then lastly, tactics and strategy and luck. Whatever, I'm not talking about that. So there you have it. That is Yogi. Clever game. Look, you knew if you liked this game or if you were going to be into it, 5 minutes ago, so I'm going to not belabor the point here. I think it's okay. I enjoyed my plays of it. It's not one that's going to make my top 100 or anything. It's not even one I necessarily will own for a long time. But for now, I'm enjoying it. My nephews are enjoying it. I'm getting some laughs out of this. So, yeah, for that crowd, check it out. That's Yogi.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.